Brought to you by Penguin.
Hunchback by Saou Ichikawa. Read by Yurivi Naka. My steamy threesome with super sexy students in one of Tokyo's most sought-after swingers clubs. Part 1. The place in question was just 10 minutes' walk from Shibuya Station. Spotting the road slanting across the sign, I knew I'd made it to the Castle of Desire. But I guess I should introduce myself first, eh? My name is Mikio, and I'm a freelance writer. The mission I'd been set this time was to report undercover on one of Tokyo's most legendary swingers clubs. So, without further ado, I stepped through the door with S, a college student I'd matched with on a dating app. When she'd locked eyes with me at our appointed meeting place, she'd shot me a smile that reminded me of that new, effortlessly slick female presenter on one of the major TV channels. In any case, she was super hot. What's more, the tits jutting out from her black turtleneck jumper were an E-cup. I should probably say at this point that I am already a member of the swingers club in question, so there were no problems getting in. Truth is, I used to be a regular before becoming a writer. The place is made up of 3 floors. On the ground floor is the reception and a locker room. The first floor is the lounge bar, and the second floor is where the playrooms are. It was 8 p.m., and the lounge bar had a nice buzz to it. I'd put the guy-to-girl ratio at about 7-3. Stripping off and touching in the lounge bar are prohibited, but kissing is okay. Those are the house rules. As S and I were chatting over mojitos at one of the booth seats, another couple came up, also with mojitos in hand, and asked us if they could join us. The guy introduced himself as a 32-year-old trader, very much the jock type. Discovering that S was at Waseda, he revealed that he'd been there himself. The two of them talked up a storm about that for a while, then seamlessly progressed to a steamy make-out session. This dude was clearly no beginner to these kinds of night spots. In case you're wondering, Mikio graduated from a slightly less illustrious university. Someone suggested that we take things to the playroom, so we made our way upstairs. A number of staff pointed the 4 of us to a room that just so happened to be empty. Luck was on our side. The gal the trader had brought with him, 26-year-old Y, who hailed from Minato, only the most affluent district of Tokyo, said it was her first time at a sex club. She'd had a 5-some in high school, though. Some education that must have been cheese. The playroom had red plastic matting underfoot, and glass walls on all sides. At a push of the remote button, the transparent glass clouded over. Y blew me while I stood there, sensing the figures clustered around outside like a bunch of garden gnomes. Man, that felt good. I guess it makes sense that someone who'd had a 5-some in high school would know how to give decent head. Just as she'd gulped down a load of my pre-cum, we switched places. I've got a thing for doing it with clothes on, so I stood behind her and fondled her tits through her blouse as I licked the inside of her ear. Meanwhile, S was leaning up against the tinted glass while the trader sucked on her E-cup tits. The black turtleneck hoisted up around her mouth muffled her moans so they sounded super horny. Her enormous white breasts were glistening and bouncy like ripe Japanese pears. You have to hand it to 21-year-old college students. Huge, but still pert. They really were a flawless set of tits. No wonder 26-year-old Y was hanging her head, her cheeks reddened by the humiliation of defeat. Although, if I'm being totally honest, I'm not that into big-breasted women. Y's regular-sized, slightly...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?